Hola Español Uno, ¿cómo están ustedes? I hope you're doing well, not getting too bored at home, keeping up with schoolwork and all that good stuff. Now that you've had a chance to see how the verbos reflexivos work, I want to bring you over here and start practicing some questions and answers that use some of them. And what we're going to start talking about today is called la rutina diaria, which means the daily routine. Okay? So these questions, and there are going to be a couple of them at a time until we get through several different questions with different verbs. But the first two are right here. Very first one, despierta. Now that uses the verb despertarse. Remember, that's the verb that means to wake up. So a qué hora te despiertas is asking, what time do you wake up? To answer it, we've got to take te despiertas out of the to form and turn it into me despierto for the yo form. Now this is my answer. Your answers will vary. But my answer here is me despierto a las 5 menos 20 de la mañana. Your answer might not be that early. Your answer might be something like me despierto a las 6:30 de la mañana. Whatever time is true for you is what you would put after the a las. So think about your answer to a qué hora te despiertas. In fact, even write it down in your apuntes. When we're finished with this video, I'll also post a still photo of this board into Google Classroom so you don't have to feel like you're rushing to copy down your notes right now. But give it some thought. Now, the next question moves on to the verb levantarse. Remember, levantarse is to get up. So it might be the same time as when you wake up, or you might be like me where you hit the snooze button a few times before you actually get out of bed. So this answer for me will be different. Question, a qué hora te levantas? What time do you get up? I would say, turning that question verb te levantas into the yo form me levanto, I would say me levanto a las 5 de la mañana. Yours might be something like me levanto a las 7 menos cuarto de la mañana. Whatever is true for you, just keep it that way for you. Now, I put these things down at the bottom, these little phrases, because they're relevant to our school situation right now, and they might make your answers to these questions different. Cuando la escuela está abierta means when school is open. Cuando la escuela está cerrada means when school is closed. Because right now, when you don't have to get up and go to school every day, your routine might be different. So think of answers for both situations. Cuando la escuela está abierta y cuando la escuela está cerrada. So before we get to our next couple of questions, you might be wondering why there is a gato en el video. Well, the reason for that is because I promised my son, who's my cameraman right now, that the cat could be our special guest for April Fool's Day. So, on that theme, Feliz Dia de las Bromas de Abril. Bromas are jokes. So, Feliz Dia de las Bromas de Abril. Happy April Fool's Day. And now we'll get back to the questions at hand. So, we've got similar kinds of questions as the first two, only now we're at the end of the day rather than the beginning of the day. The first question comes from the verb acostarse, meaning to go to bed or to lie down. And we're remembering that it's a shoe verb where the O becomes a UE, here in the to form, here in the yo form. And we ask, a qué qué hora te acuestas? What time do you go to bed? Now in your answer, of course, you're again going to switch from te to me for the yo form and say me acuesto a las 9:30 de la noche. Now, it might vary from night to night, but just in general, think about a general time that's true for you. It might be the same as mine, or it might be something different. Are we stopping?
I'm just on to say that would be the average.
Yes. My son just said that this would be an average time. Okay, so you'll put in whatever time is true for you. Me acuesto a las, and fill in your own answer. Now, the next question comes from the verb dormirse. Remember, dormirse is to go to sleep or to fall asleep. Another shoe verb with a UE, which shows up in the to form in the question and the yo form in the answer. So, a qué hora te duermes? What time do you go to sleep? Or what time do you fall asleep? And again, an average time, just something in general. Me duermo a las 10 de la noche. You would say me duermo a las, and whatever time is true for you. Now, these phrases at the bottom might be relevant in terms of these questions and answers also. So when you get your tarea to go along with this lesson, it'll ask you both cuando la escuela está abierta and cuando la escuela está cerrada. So be ready to answer the questions both ways. And we'll be back for another couple of questions in just a moment when I have a chance to change the board. Back we are again for more of la rutina diaria. This time it's not a what time question, it's kind of an either-or question. ¿Te bañas por la mañana o por la noche? Using now el verbo bañarse. Remember, bañarse is to take a bath or to bathe oneself. And in a lot of Spanish-speaking cultures, it can include showering as well as bathing in a tub. So think of it that way if you take a shower rather than a bath. That's included here as well. So, ¿te bañas por la mañana o por la noche? Te in the question, turning into me in the answer with the yo form. Me baño por la mañana would be my answer. Might be yours as well. Some of you might say me baño por la noche. And some people would even say me baño por la mañana y por la noche, if you do both. So think about your answer to that question, as it will show up in the tarea as well. And I've got one more question for you, but I need to So think about your answer. Me lavo las manos. It might be the same as mine. Muchas veces cada día. Maybe you would say a veces. Maybe you would say antes de comer, before eating. Or maybe you have a completely different answer that you can put in when this comes up in your tarea. So that's all I'm going to give to you today for reflexive verb questions in La Rutina Diaria. Look for the tarea that goes along with this, and we'll be back on another day. Adios.